Now you're probably asking yourself, what was that routine doing in the show? Well, it's very simple. There's a big number coming up that they need to allow time for a set change. It's mechanics.
In a few hours, I am going to be Mrs. Robert Martin. Oh, my head is spinning.
Yes, life is a mad whirlwind.
Now, this is a very interesting scene. It's the only time in the show that Jane Roberts and Beatrice Stockwell are alone on stage. Now, Jane Roberts was an emerging star, but Beatrice Stockwell was already well established and a force to contend with.
I'm so full of apprehension, but I suppose that's normal considering the circumstances. Have you ever been married, Chaperone?
No. I drink for pleasure, not out of necessity.
The ice water, madam. I'm afraid we're fresh out of olives.
Have you ever been married, Underling?
Oh, heavens no, madam. If I'm going to serve a woman, I prefer to be paid for my efforts.
I know it seems crazy to give up a successful career to marry a man I hardly know. But somehow, for some reason, when I looked into his eyes, his big monkey eyes, I get all woozy, and that is love, isn't it?
Not necessarily. The wooziness could be caused by any number of things. I mean, I'm woozy right now, and I'm certainly not in love.
Beatrice Stockwell was famous for her rousing anthems. She entertained and inspired troops in every major world conflict, up to and including the Falkland War. Of course, by that time, she was in her late 80s, and her anthems did so much rouse as stupefy. Still, she demanded that a rousing anthem be put in every show she ever did, even if it wasn't appropriate. But you couldn't say no to her. That's star power.
Now really, you're not being the least bit helpful. Couldn't you at least allay my fears with a few choice words of inspiration?
Inspiration? Really, dear, that's not my forte.
Yes, but if you...
As we stumble along on life's funny journey, as we stumble along into the blue, we both hear and we'll fail, seeking answers anywhere, never sure of where to turn or what to do. Still we fumble our way through life's crazy labyrinth. There be going left or right or right from wrong. And the best that we can do is hope a bluebird will sing his song as we stumble along.
That was quite interesting, Chaperone, but I don't see how it pertains to my situation.
Let me explain.
Oh, really, that's not necessary.
It's a dismal little world in which we live. It can bore you till you've nothing left to give. 7 overrated wonders, 7 underwhelming seas, 6 excruciating continents, Antarctica.
Oh, please.
Still you mustn't let it lick you off this planet. No, so land. Keep your eyeball on the highball in your hand. As we stumble along, cross life's crowded dance floor, as we push and we shove, we live and we learn. And when we finally leave the bar, and we see that
tell me, is Robert the man for me?
My dear, that's something you'll have to decide for yourself.
But I just don't know if he loves me.
Why don't you ask him? Why don't you say, Roger, do you love me?
It's Robert. And I'm not allowed to see him. In fact, it's your job to keep me away from him.
You're right, and I take that responsibility very seriously. However, just this moment I'm feeling terribly, terribly drowsy. I'm afraid I have to have lying down. Now, whatever you do, don't go wandering through the garden seeking out your fiancé to ask him the question upon which your future happiness depends.
Oh, thank you, Chaperone. I just have to know if he loves me.
Such a skinny little fool. Still, I envy her. Oh, when will love come crashing through my door?
La 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 la.
Look who it is, Adolfo, come to woo the bride.
I am Adolfo.
Try not to think about the poodles when you're listening to this one.
I am Adolfo. And you are black.
No, I am not.
What? This is bridal suite. And you, the only one here. Therefore, you must be bride.
Interesting argument, but I'm afraid you are a moron.
What?
Me? No bride. Perhaps I can take a message.
Very well. Dear and black bride, I must woo you and take you to a place of sheer ecstasy. Sooner is better than later. Signed, Adolfo, King of Romance.
Well, you saw through my little ruse. You found me out.
Ah, so you are bride.
Apparently, yes. Woo me. A doll face.
No! No, 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 not Adolf face. Adolfo. You must remember my name, for when I enter the room and you breathlessly whisper my name, Adolfo. You must say the right name, or it could ruin everything. Oh, how can I make you remember? I'm sure that you have heard the name Adolfo, a ladies' man who wins the claim Adolfo. Well, lovely miss, I am the same Adolfo. I introduce myself, I am Adolfo.
Nice to meet you, shall we?
Not so fast. So just in case you didn't hear Adolfo, I'll try to make it very clear, Adolfo. The lovely ladies always cheer Adolfo when I repeat myself, I am Adolfo.
Understood.
I can sing it high, Adolfo. I can sing it low, Adolfo. I can sing it very fast, Adolfo. I can sing it very slowly. I do it now. But it could take hours. Now let's see if you can remember my name.
I'll give it a shot.
Now who's the fellow that you see?
Adolfo.
And how should you refer to me?
Adolfo.
And who is it I'll always be?
Adolfo.
Now sing it proudly.
You are Adolfo.
Now let me spell it out for you. For all of you lovely ladies who didn't hear for some reason, because maybe you are hard of hearing or something. I don't know. It goes Dal. For
beat by a Latin lover. I mean a real Latin lover, not a buffoon. But that's what musicals are all about, right? Romantic fantasies, falling in love at the drop of a hat, spontaneous tangoing, suddenly finding yourself in an insanely romantic setting.
I'm an accident waiting to happen.
Robert, look out!
Don't worry, madam. Today's my wedding day, so I have to wear a blindfold.
A blindfold?
I'm sorry, who am I speaking to anyhow?
Why, it's me. Me. From France.
This scene couldn't be more ridiculous.
So, you are marrying Jeannette Van de Chaperone.
We,
I hear she's very beautiful and glamorous.
we.
Is it true that she has an exceptionally broad range and excels at playing both comedic and dramatic roles?
Say, I'm having trouble placing your accent. What part of France are you from?
Oh, the middle part, where they make the toast. French toast, no? So, you were telling me about your, how do you say it in English? Fiancé!
That's right.
Well, tell me, when was the moment you knew she was the one for you?
It's a funny story, actually. We were standing on the Lido deck of the Isle de France.
Ile de France, yes.
I was amusing her with the stories of my father's oil interests.
And then what happened?
Well then, I looked into her eyes. Her big, glamorous eyes. And I felt all woozy.
And then you fell. And then you fell?
Yes. Right on my keister. And then I said, I guess I don't have my sea legs yet.
But we haven't left the dock.
That's what she said. And then I knew it must be love.
And then you said?
And then I said, there was a time I could stop on a dime. Forbearance was one of my talents. But since you've been around, I can't hold my ground. I'm consistently losing my balance. I'm an accident waiting to happen. I'm a mess up about to ensue. I'm the toy on the stair, the three-legged chair, the hand that's been caught by a shoe. When my two lovesick arms started flapping, there was nothing my ankles could do. I'm an accident waiting to happen, so happy I happened to you.
And then what happened?
Oh, then she joined in.
When men say I'm sweet and they fall at my feet, my heart doesn't beat any faster. But when you lose control, it touches my soul. So I'm bracing myself for disaster. You're an accident waiting to happen.
That's right.
A catastrophe destined to be.
That's me. I'm the rags in the cellar.
A broken umbrella, a branch hanging loose from a tree. I can see myself jumping and clapping. Oh, the man who lives dangerously. You're an accident waiting to happen. So hurry and hand it to me. And then what happened?
Then we kissed. I'm an accident waiting to happen. So hurry and happen to me.
Wait a minute! You kissed a strange French girl on your wedding day!
Oh no! What have I done? Wait!
Well, it seems the fake French accent and the blindfold have led to a terrible misunderstanding. What a mess! Will it all work out in the end? Of course it will. It's not real. It's a musical. Everything works out in musicals. hopelessly deranged. Mr. Feltzig!
Where is that philandering foreigner?
Mr. Feltzig!
How long can it take to woo one bride?
Mr. Feltzig, you don't need Janet, no more!
Kitty, not now.
But I've been working on a new act. Presenting Kitty the Incomprehensible. Now, think of something.
Oh, I'm thinking of something, all right.
Wait, I'm getting it. Pick up some milk and a loaf of rye bread. And don't forget to shave your legs.
You're reading your own mind, you idiot.
Oh, no wonder why it was so easy.
Mr. Feltzig,
It would seem that the wedding is proceeding according to schedule.
now it's time you received your just desserts. What do you think, partner? Should we whip up something special for Mr. Feltzig?
Yeah. How about a Toledo surprise?
An inspired choice.
A Toledo surprise, I've never heard of that.
No, you haven't. Those who have heard of it are generally never heard from again.
We'll share the recipe with you.
First, you chop the nuts.
Then you pound the dough.
Then you bake it up nice and slow.
Then you got your Toledo surprise.
Could you run that by me again?
It's a very simple recipe, Mr. Feltzig.
First, you chop the nuts.
Then you pound the dough. Then you bake it up nice and slow. Then you got your Toledo surprise.
Say, why don't we give them a little taste?
Oh,
Hold it! What style, what grace, what rhythm! Open your fists. Now shake them. Now give me that recipe one more time. Da-da-da-da-da-da, go!
chop the nuts, pound the dough, bake it up nice and slow. Then you got a Toledo surprise.
Now sell it.
Pick the peach, peel the skin, mush it up, rub it in. It's a tasty Toledo surprise.
Now you're cooking.
Heat it up, then you sweet it up. When you heat it up, if it tries to rise, don't let it instant snap. Try it, folks. Whip your whites, split your yolks. Then you got a Toledo surprise.
You boys are naturals.
Honest?
Keep it up. I'll work on the contract.
Hey!
5, 6, 7, 8.
Mr. Feltzig! Say, what's going on here?
Kitty, I'm developing a new act.
Toledo surprise.
You mean you're putting gangsters in the show, but you won't put me in? They're not even in the union.
You got it all wrong. The new act is for you, Kitty, and these boys are your backup dancers.
Backup dancers, holy cats! Put that hot Toledo dice to my Toledo good. Yes, indeed, oh, sugary yum yum. Surprise! Spin the cream, grease the pan, flip the spoon, flip the plan. Makes you bust your tuxedo. Toledo surprise!
Wait! How doubtful! He make announcement! Wedding is off!
What? For the love of God, why?
How doubtful has fooled the bride. Ew! That is not the bride, you idiot! That is the chaperone!
The wedding is on.
The wedding is off.
What?
Robert kissed a French girl. Her name is Mimi. She's very beautiful.
I couldn't help you, Janet. She was just like you. Only French.
My mother, Pearl.
I'm leaving!
Yes, madam.
What is all this commotion about?
The wedding, madam.
Oh, is there going to be a wedding?
Not anymore. Oh, what a tragedy. What a wonderful, wonderful tragedy. Clear the floor, boys. I'll show you how it's done. First you beat it up.
Hey, look at that.
Then you sweet it up. When you heat it up, if it tries to rise, don't let it.
Oh, Mr. Feltzig!
Toledo surprise.
Surprise! Wait until it's ready. Surprise! Wait until it's ready. Surprise!
Wait until it's ready.
Now look it ready. Surprise!
You got it.
Makes me flinch, makes me shake. This dessert takes the cake. Makes me like a torpedo.
Yes, yes. But the tune is so infectious.
Robert, this is the saddest day of my life.
Well, that's it. The curtain closes and it's time for intermission. At least it would be if we were sitting in the Morosco Theater watching the Drowsy Chaperone, which of course we're not. I don't like intermissions. They ruin the magic, you know. One moment you're lost in a glamorous world of music and romance, then bang! You're surrounded by tourists, crinkling rappers and nattering about the lack of women's restrooms. It's cruel. Oh, it's a power bar. I have a bit of a blood sugar issue. I have to eat small meals all day or I get all jittery. I know it's rude, but you would like the alternative. Believe you me. Believe you me. I remember my wedding day. The ceremony wasn't until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I do. Are you surprised I was married? Well, there you go. You shouldn't go making assumptions about people, should you? I'm a very complicated person. I have to pee now. I know I said I don't like intermissions, but I'll be quick and then we'll start Act 2.